Welcome. My name is Joan Owens, and you are in Aunt Joan's classroom. With me today is the production team, Ali Sultan and Kelsey Kuno. Today we are going to talk about, today is lesson 2, and we are going to talk about 6 tips for establishing academic routines at home. Oh, I see some friends. Oh, we have several dozens, maybe hundreds of friends. Today I see, hi Jose, Michaela's here, Sharon, Mohammed, so many more. Hi everybody, nice to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Well, let's get right into it. So first we'll talk a little bit about why routines are so important. You probably have established some home routines like cleaning your bedroom or feeding the pet. These are academic routines. These are routines we're going to talk about today, the 6 routines we're going to talk about today. We hope you'll choose 1 or 2 and let us know down below what you think of them and establish them as routines. We've done a little checking and we have found why routines are so important. And routines help children feel safe. Routines help children develop life skills. They build healthy habits. And what really interested me was it has been proven that routines help parents feel organized and they reduce stress for everyone. So that's a good thing. We're going to talk about 6, and as we talk about them, we're going to model some nonverbal behavior. So we have these charts here, which you could develop at home, put anything on your charts. And as we complete one routine, we're going to just color the fingertip so that we know that has been accomplished. You can do that kind of thing at home with any kind of task. Let's start by talking about estimation. Estimation is a great skill. It really helps you and children, everyone, understand how reasonable an answer would be. It's important that we work on estimation and accuracy. So we have these little estimation jars, and these jars are the same size. And when I first started doing this in classroom, I did it too much. I did it like every day, and it got to be too tedious, and the kids didn't enjoy it. So I got into the habit, as did my colleagues, of presenting an estimation jar every Monday, letting the students look at it, and then on Friday we'd collect all the estimations, we'd put them in order from smallest to largest, and then we'd count. It's a great skill to learn how to count by 2s, 5s, but everyone in the family can get involved in this. Now, I chose this jar because I have so many of them, and for the purpose of the video I wanted to demonstrate, but it's not really the ideal estimation jar because it's smaller at the top than it is at the bottom, and it's hard for kids to come up with strategies. It's better to use a jar that's more straight, but it doesn't really matter. Once your family gets used to it, you'll learn a lot. So Kelsey and Ali have written their estimations for the Scrabble letters, for the cranberries, and for the bouncy balls. And after we go through all 6 routines, we'll tell them how close they were. The next routine that is good to establish in your home is the use of calendars. Now, many people have calendars. If you don't, just get any kind. Old ones, new ones, years past, this year. They help with a lot of skills. Now down below, if you have, this is mostly an elementary, early elementary, kindergarten skill routine. But if you have ways to modify it to older children, please share them with us. The calendar helps you understand the months of the year, the days of the week, and lots of patterns. For instance, we have the pattern of 7s. So you can do add 7, 12 and 7 is 19, 19 and 7 is 26, and you can also go back to subtract. 30 minus 7 is 23, 23 minus 7 is 16. So it's a good way for kids to develop number fluency if you ask them that or if they ask you. Also, a lot of teachers will say, well, today's Friday, yesterday was, tomorrow is. So find some other patterns right down below. You can use any kind of calendar. I'm going to show you this special calendar that will be linked below. This is from our art director, Kelsey Kuno. She made all of these paintings. And then she made a calendar of her paintings. Isn't this beautiful? I mean, just look at September. And what is this, acrylic? Oil. Oil painting. What a beautiful job she did. She worked so hard. The next routine that's really fun and easy to establish in your home is the timer. I use this all the time. Oh, here's Magic. There's our friend Magic. He was just adopted last summer. Isn't he beautiful? So we use this all the time, don't we, Magic? This timer. Like, oh man, Grandma needs a minute of quiet. Let's just put in a minute, press start. It's really nice for your children to understand the concept of what a minute is, how long that means. And for older children, if you have a lot of resistance to like getting your chemistry work done or getting the dishes clean, just give yourself 20 minutes. I'll work for 20 minutes. I like the ones that aren't on the phone because they just, I don't know, gives kids an opportunity to use something that's not a screen. Timer is a very valuable tool. Next on our routine list is the timeline. And you can make a timeline spanning any number of years. I've seen them all around buildings, starting with like the 1500s, even before that. I've made a timeline which starts in 1930s, and it goes by decades, 1930s, 1940s, 1950s, all the way up to 2020. And I have on it my nephew's birthday, grandniece's birthday, when COVID started, when Tiger, that's the other cat, Tiger and Magic were adopted. And you can really learn a lot. If you like art, you can look under art history and put some famous dates on there. You can decide with your family what kind of dates you want on your timeline. It's a very helpful routine to establish in your home. And the next established routine we hope you'll consider and give us feedback about is the weather graph. So here I have a weather graph that just goes for a week. And this is Minneapolis temperatures at noon just this week. Now, usually in Minneapolis, our weather is quite variable. So usually I'll have a graph that'll go way down, it'll go down below zero and climb all the way up. But because we had a very mild week, I just made this graph. Smaller children can make a symbol if it's sunny or rainy or windy. And then older children can modify this in many, many ways. It's a very good family activity to watch weather over a long period of time. Any longitudinal study is very helpful. Okay, so that's it for the routines. Before I reveal these numbers, I want to let you know that the next lesson is going to be lesson 3, and we will play a math game. And let's take a look at these numbers now. Let's start with the bouncy balls. Ali guessed 35 and Kelsey guessed 42. And we counted them. There are 28 balls. So Ali was the closest. He was just a little off. What strategy did you use, Ali?
Luck.
Oh, he just guessed. Yeah. What strategy? Well, let's go on and see what strategies.
I estimated the outside layer, and it was about 20, and I just assumed maybe there's another 15 inside.
Yeah, and if it had been straight, it might have been easier for you. Yeah. So he took a look at the top, and then he estimated how many layers there were. That's a very common strategy. Okay, let's take a look at the cranberries now. Ali estimated 60 and Kelsey estimated 50. And wow, you'd never believe it, but there are 106 cranberries in that little jar. Let's take a look at these. Wow. These little Scrabble letters. Kelsey estimated 67 and Ali estimated 78. Look at these little things. There's 151.
Wow.
Yeah. So you see, what you'll notice is if you do this every week, you'll get better and better. Just take a bunch of grapes or, you can play, you can test each other with it. Thanks so much for listening. We'll see you next time for lesson 3, which is a math game.